you to send us questions, tell us about your experience. Gino recently asked me about some of the problems he's been having with his system, why the panels aren't working, why is he not getting the return on the investment, and some great questions, and we've been answering that over the past few weeks. So please keep sending them in. Of course, we'll be here every Tuesday at 2 o'clock live on our YouTube channel. As of course we've all noticed now, electricity prices have gone up. I've just received the updates here, and we can post this on our social medias as well. So NERSA has approved electricity tariff increases for the municipalities. The Buffalo City, the approved increase is 11%. Cape Town, 11.78%. Ekurhuleni, 11.2%. City of Johannesburg, we know that that's been a contentious issue with that availability charge, 12.72%. City of Tshwane, 12%, eThekwini, 12.7%, but Nelson Mandela Bay, where we are the most, at 13.04%. So there we go. We'll make sure to post those for you as well. Right, today we want to talk a little bit about return on investment. And you've been hearing us talk a lot about why it's good for business to do solar. And these days, it's really more about financial sense, sense with a C and an S. It's about understanding that this financial decision about solar is really based on rands and cents more than it is on convenience. So from an investment point of view, how good is this really? So what I want to do today is just compare a little bit of a car investment versus solar investment. So let's start with the car here. Are we good, Jack? We see here? Good. Okay, so let's buy a car valued at 400,000 Rand, and maybe not quite an EV just yet. Hey, 400,000 Rand will be the cost of that car. Let's look then at a 12% sort of return, an increase in costs. In the state of the car, of course, there's going to be no return on investment over the period of time because, in fact, we're going the other direction. We're going down in terms of the value of price. And what we'll see is after sort of 5 years, are we still fine here now? And if I go one more column, 10 years, okay, we're good. Yeah, with the palm tree in the way there. So after 5 years, the value of the car probably escalating more or less, we call it 200,000 Rand, its value, and over 10 years, probably 100,000 Rand. Of course, so many things to consider, as you can imagine. But there's a good example of sort of an investment into a vehicle, 400,000 Rand. The reason we've got 12% of increases here is because there's no increase in your fixed rate of what you're paying for it, but your value of your car will be in 5 years about 200,000, and in 10 years about 100,000. Okay, just a typical example. Let's do the same now for solar. Let's take a solar installation where we're investing 400,000 Rand. Okay, now we've got a 12% increase coming. And here's the great thing about solar. We're actually making energy. So the money we would be spending on the solar, on electricity, we're now getting it back. It's the savings. And over the period of time for 5 years, at 12%, the actual value of this is going to be, I've written down in front of me, 535,000 Rand. So that equates over a 5 year to about 12,500 Rand per month over the time period for the return on the investment. That's quite significant. And here's the really exciting one. If I'd taken the solar generation, remember there's so many things to consider here. Panel direction, how this all looks, equipment, batteries, lifespan, warranties. If you look over a 10-year period, I mean, we're looking at sort of 900,000 Rand plus savings, the investment. I mean, this is beyond what we could expect, really, from any kind of investment. Spending 400,000 Rand, thinking of a 10-year plan, I'm literally going to more than double my money by going solar, by the savings I'm going to have beyond the life of paying back the system. We can see that's going to happen within 5 years already versus the purchase of a vehicle and how it's depreciating. So, I mean, from this very simple example that we've got here, we can see that if you had invested in solar 5 years ago in a fairly off-grid kind of scenario, which we all said was way too expensive and not to be considered, particularly with batteries, we would pretty much be paid off that system and be enjoying the return on the investment. And if we put it into something where we quite easily spend this kind of money these days on a vehicle, we can see that it's not close to it as well. So it's really become a financial decision. Now, over the last few weeks, we've been talking about return on investment from a business perspective, from a homeowner's perspective. Am I going to get my money back? Well, yeah, we can see it's quite clear. And we've got some great examples of this, great models where we can actually put the numbers in for you. Maybe the investment of 400,000 Rand isn't enough to take you off grid, but it's certainly going to bring its return on investment for the capital that you are spending. Look, it can get quite complicated, and there's a 12B tax allowance that assists you. In fact, I've just heard I had a conference this week with somebody who's introduced a new tax allowance that you can reinvest the money and get up to 250% back on your investment. So there's all kind of incentives these days to try and help you to become more independent. I think just be aware that there's more than one technology available there. So make sure you're chatting to us about understanding the financial models and how it best works. I hope this sort of was understandable for you and that you are convinced, as we are, as the decision that we've made to go down this route as well. All right, as always, like, share, and subscribe. We're here to answer your questions. Please keep them coming. You can email sales@microcare.co.za or just post them while you're watching the video. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.